career sorted when they're done and dusted with their playing days. So Simon Cesars, of course, they are sitting to do an accounting exam yesterday, missing the game that his team won. He will hope that they can carry on even if he doesn't perform today with the bat. But guess what? They've got many players coming from overseas. Orokide Tuyisenge is in. Sami Sohail from Malawi, the player of the match yesterday with 2 for 15 at a crucial stage at the death and some contribution with the bat, around a ball 17. Right there, Kenneth Weiss was the captain. Robert Ajuna today will be the 14th man. Call him the 12th man. Jonathan Sebanja comes into the team, traded from the Itanda Kayakers with Brighton Muganzi. They traded and changed places. Frank Nsubuga, Fahad Mutagana, the under-19 international who won that match for his team. David Wawire, the doctor, who gets a chance. Blessings Pondani, the export from Malawi, will sit this one out. Jonathan Nyiro, another under-19 boy, is the 14th man. But Brian Asaba, who excited us at the top, gets another bite at the cherry. Kevin Irakoze, overseas player from Rwanda, is in with ball some leg spin. And then the leading bowler in the Ugandan league, Yash Joshi, right there in the middle. Umpires out there in the middle. Time to get things started here. Good morning, Dennis. All done with the toss. How was it there out in the middle with the captains?
Very, very good morning, Innocent. Still very interesting. Sipi Trek still very interested in this. Not changing a winning team from yesterday afternoon. Kenneth Weiss and his coach player, Frank Nsubuga, choosing to go with the same winning team. But interestingly, not same winning team, just one change. Robert Ajuna goes out of the team, and Simon Cesars comes back into the side. Interestingly, today, Innocent, for the CP Trekkers, Simon Cesars behind the stumps. Let's see how he will deal with the pace of David Wawire and a couple of other guys there who are in the side. Starts off with a wide, already work to do for Simon Cesars down the leg side. Not your regular keeper, so you can see Simon not moving his field, only putting in a dive, but at least he's a very good fielder. So for whatever he can't do, come up with as a wicket keeper, his fielding techniques should help him out.
Just the one slip in place for the doctor, David Wawire. Sami Sohail standing there at first. Roger Mukasa opening the batting here. A little shuffle from him across the stumps. Exciting field setting, Dennis. You look at a fine leg standing at the 30-yard. Anything clipped off the pads will run down for 4. Where is the protection, Dennis? Who are the two fielders out here?
Yeah, there's a third man. To look at the field a bit later, but interestingly here, the CP Trekkers, the challenge for them, if you look at the table, they have won a game, have won the same number of games as the Bujagali, as the Tanda Kayakers. The challenge for them is that their net run rate is very, very terrible, -2 compared to +1 for the Itanda Kayakers. So for them to make up that net run rate and find themselves into the final tomorrow afternoon, they will need to give Bujagali Rafters a proper beating this morning.
You talk about a proper beating, and there is a deja vu feeling as you see that feather ball from Wawire. Roger Mukasa in line, but just letting it go through to the keeper's gloves. The deja vu feeling, Dennis, is no team has won on their double-header day. CP Trekkers with the first culprits on Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon, going down to the Rafters and Kayakers. Day 2 yesterday, Kayakers not able to beat the Trekkers and the Rafters. Today, the Rafters are in the hot seat.
The first runs on board off the blade of Roger Mukasa, gets off the mark in unorthodox fashion. But his partner Falak Shah realizing that maybe he's struggling to pick up the pace of David Wabwire. They scamper through for one. The protection innocent now for Falak. There's a third man and the man at deep square leg. Jonathan Tebanja has been put there to try and catch anything that is on offer. Yesterday was Zimbat falling for the trap, caught at deep square leg by Franklin Subuga off the bowling of David Wabwire. But Falak Shah not your compulsive hooker, so I don't think he will go for that option. He's the one who likes to play with the pace. He understands. He has some delicate touches, especially if the ball is short. He's just strong, very, very strong on the offside. Just like that, uses his arms, runs it down to third man and gets off the mark. That will be the end of the first over. Just 2 runs off it. 3 runs for the Bujagali Rafters.
3 for none after 1. Roger Mukasa not opening up. Similar thing he did yesterday in that Rafters victory. He held fort, moving a little slowly and then managing to capitalize at the back end of the innings. A beautiful 49 runs from him, falling one short of a T20 feet, half century. Not as explosive, but is being more calculative in the way he goes about his business. Jonathan Sebanja left arm medium to Falak Shah left hand bat. 3 runs on the board. 1 was a wide, the first one. 1 was a leg by. And Falak Shah is 1 of 1. How important is today for these two sides? It's a snooze-lose moment for either. None would want to be caught napping.
Yeah, but I think the Bujagali Rafters did just enough to get themselves in the final. Just like that. Whips it off at his hips, Falak Shah. Falak never goes for power when he's trying to pull. He's only trying to nudge the ball either back behind square leg or run it down to fine leg. So sometimes I feel if you have a man there trying to catch, he's a little bit wasted. You just need to tuck him in. He likes to play on the offside, going for those expansive drives. So if you're trying to get his wicket, you need to trap him on that side of the wicket rather than on the onside. It's Roger who likes to go for that compulsive hook shot. So for him, when you have a deep square leg like where Orikide is standing right now, it's very, very understandable. Roger Mukasa turns down that single. Still trying to figure out a couple of things, I think. Trying to read the pace of the wicket. It's the 3rd day we are using the same wicket. Probably will have a change in the final. But match day number 3 and we've used the same wicket. Was playing a little bit funny yesterday afternoon.
Talk about the same wicket still playing through. Half track of sorts, punished by Roger Mukasa. Sebanja trying to deny pace on the ball.
Yeah, for a man who doesn't have any pace.
half track of sorts, punished by Roger Mukasa Sebanja.
It's a patient game. Yesterday Roger got 49, a very, very patient knock from him, uncharacteristic of how we are used to him playing. But that 49 was the difference between the Rafters winning that game. Trying to make room, not enough for him, Roger Mukasa. The ball coming back sharply there from Jonathan Sebanja. Of course, Jonathan Sebanja traded from the Itanda Kayakers to the Sipi Trekkers. More protection here for Sebanja, choosing to bring the third man up and dropping someone at long off. Long off is a region where Roger normally gets out because he likes to hit the ball straight. I hope he doesn't fall for the trap, but sometimes because Roger is so powerful, if he gets it very well, there will be no chance for the man standing there. So you're trying to trap him on a miscue.
Little wiser from Sebanja. Rolling just one thing on that one. It is the end of the second 9 for no loss after 2. Sebanya's over goes for 6. Time to work for the Rafters. They will need to pace their innings today. The Trekkers will be coming hard because no total will be impossible for them. And with that talisman of theirs, Simon Cesar is back in the mix. The umpires standing in today. 2 ICC umpires done some little globe trotting in the continent. Patrick Makumbi Mosoke and Olivier Intangishaka from Rwanda. Down to third man area. The dive from young Brian Asaba, pathetic to say the least, as that one rolls away for 4. Brian Asaba, Dennis, not the best of fielders. The Elite League has found him wanting in that department, but with the bat, very good. Simon Cesar is the keeper, quick to tell him to emerelemu.
Yeah, he's been very, very handy with the bat, but I also feel a better fielding effort would have cut off that ball. There's some very nice grass at that third man region. So a decent shift could have cut off that ball, save a few runs for your team. But young players who can't field, I have no excuses for them. I think fielding is the bare minimum for any cricketer. So you need to be, grew up in an era of very, very good fielders. Frank Nsubuga, Raymond Otim. Those were all very, very quality fielders. Raymond also used to make the side just because of his fielding. Dries the air very nicely there, Falak Shah.
You need to talk about good fielders there, and I feel you miss out my name. For large spells, I did stand at point covers, and when this logo was on, I was always mid-wicket, long on, long off material. And sometimes, even when I come out to field with me weighing 200 pounds now, I see no reason why players drop catches if an old man like me can come out there and cling on to some clingers. Sometimes it's nice to say things as they are. Then it's a bold speaker behind the mic and a bold man throughout his life on and off the pitch. There is no short changing Dennis.
Yeah, you're very right, Innocent. For once, I'll vouch for you. I'll vouch for you. Fielding was very good, especially since you're also a spinner. I think that era had a lot of spinners who were also very good fielders. You would take a very big risk if you're trying to hit the ball back to them, and especially if it was in the air. Not forgetting the likes of Chris Angola as well. Very, very good fielders. Top shot there from Falak Shah. Whips it off his hips and runs away for a boundary. Told you, Innocent, that Falak, not a compulsive hooker, but one who knows how to get himself in position very well and then just uses the pace of the ball to score the runs. Desperate dive there from Jonathan Sebanja. I think he was only trying to convince his player coach, Frank Suga, that he put in an effort. But there was no catching that.
Better effort there from Jonathan Sebanja. And Falak Shah doing everything within his reach to make sure that one wasn't in the air. Wawire has fine leg in 30 for the left-hander. And he keeps straying away to the pads. I feel that's a boundary ball anytime. Big over. 9 runs coming from 8. It is the end of the third. 17 without loss. Roger Mugasa taking his time out there in the middle. 4 from 11.
Falak Shah trying to pull that in front of square. Just doesn't get the distance of Brian Asaba standing in at long on, at mid on. The double-header days have been terrible. On the last 2 days of play, none of the teams has been able to pick up a win. Tanda Kayakas yesterday put to the sword by both Bujagali Rafters and Sipi Trekkers. This time goes for the hook shot. More runs for the Bujagali Rafters. Jonathan Sebanja, no pace at all from him. Both Bujagali Rafters and Sipi Trekkers. This time goes for the hook shot. More runs. Chance for a catch goes to one of the safest hands in the team. Franklin Subuga takes the catch. Falak Shah there guilty of being greedy, trying to go for another boundary, and in the end just finds Franklin.
Chance for a catch
goes to one of the safest hands in the team.
But it was a trap set by the Trekkers. They pick up their first. The dangerously looking Falak Shah goes for 15 from 10. 21 for 1. Working out to bat there. Number 3, the only overseas player in this side. All the way from Botswana, the captain of the Zebras, Mr. Karabo Motlanka. in to fight because the Rafters would like to change that script of teams playing that double headers losing.
Karabo Mutlanka yesterday joined us here in the comms box, but today he has to go and earn his bread and butter. This is not his workplace. He was only passing by. He has to come up with something there with Roger Mukasa. 21 after 1, after 3.3 overs. A club also very, very quality batter. He's played for Botswana since he was 19. Very, very long serving servant of the game in Botswana.
Karabo quickly sent back by Roger Mukasa on that one. No runs, no runs. That shot that is favored by the left-handers, Karabo tries to go for it. It was a little quicker this time. Sebanja putting some back into that one. He doesn't want to go for many. It is the end of the fourth. 21 for 1. Good dive from the keeper. That was looking like it was going to be 4 wides. Stays as 1. David Wawire here to bowl the 5th.
Simon Cesars so far taking down wides only. Not a couple of balls have gone through the batters to him. But he's tidy enough to do some wicket keeping, Simon. Takes his time there, Patrick Makumbi Msoke, but he's not convinced that he will have 3 red lines. Therefore, Roger Mukasa survives. Roger trying to go for a booming drive. Nothing there, maybe beaten by the pace. 16 runs given away by David Wawiri. He's already into his 4th over. into his third, not fourth already. Bit of change in style here from Roger Mukasa Innocent. No longer the explosive man. I think the older you grow, the wiser you become. So he's always more cautious in his approach. Make sure he makes the right shot selections. But the younger Roger Mukasa 5 years ago was someone who would come out of the blocks very quickly. Even in the corners, is not slowing down. Foot remains firmly on the gas.
You talk about Roger Mukasa being more calculative, and he says, Dennis, say no more. I am still as explosive. That's a very good shot there over the top for Roger Mukasa to break his shackles in that boundary column. First for him, he jumps to 8. Chance for a catch. It doesn't carry. Frank Nsubuga there. The trap has been set. Mukasa thinks he's seen a gap. Almost fell to the same man that Falaksha fell to. The only feeder out there in the deep, his big brother. Frank Nsubuga, who is the coach player for these Sipi Trekkers. The Trekkers know this could be their last time out here if they don't pick victory, and if they don't pick a convincing victory.
Innocent, I wish we could have a flash of the table, but for the Sipi Trekkers, I think for them now it's just about ruining the party. Very difficult to overturn that net run rate. It has only happened once really in my lifetime, my cricketing lifetime, when Kenya under-19s overturned that red rate against the Uganda under-19s in Nairobi. Bujagali can afford to lose both games today and still make the final tomorrow. They just don't need to lose by a very big margin.
One foot in the final for the Rafters. They still got work to do as Karabo Motlanka gets off the mark, and Asaba is pumped up this time round. Better shift from the young man.
Yeah, much better effort there from Brian Asaba this time. He cuts off the ball because it was racing across the pitch. Nearly went through for 4, but this time putting his body on the line and putting in a good shift to carry it off.
Some little discomfort there, but quickly running to him is Sami Sohail, who likes to see the same fight that he plays with. Telling him, well done, mate. Brian Asaba stays on the ropes. He's not in your frame, but he's stretching, holding onto that left hand. Hopefully he's not in trouble, because the start he gave the Trekkers yesterday will be a thing of desire today. Banja to bowl his third, the last one of the power play. In the air for some time, no one was really interested. Both standing back at 30 yards. Orokide to Isenge and Sami Sohail.
You can see there Roger Mukasa walking down the wicket to give some wise words to Karabo. Roger understands its ground is played on it quite a lot. Karabo playing in front of his pad but with a hanging bat. Nearly pops a catch. Interestingly, Sebanya into his third over as well. So these two opening bowlers have bowled quite a long spell up front.
It's a beautiful Saturday here. We've been blessed by the best of weather. Ajuna on the field to do some fielding for Asawa. Sebanja sees him trying to play that lap shot. Goes it further outside. The shuffle from Roger Mukasa helps matters because there's no wides to be given by the umpire. Mr. Ntangi Shaka, one of the youngest umpires in Africa and one who is certainly on the rise. The other young one that I know is a former player, Lauren Hackenpack, the lady umpire. Chance for a catch. None whatsoever taken. Chance for a run out. The shy from Sami Sohail.
Terrible there. Everything happening in that delivery. Roger Mukasa trying to play the paddle. The ball doesn't fall for David Wawire. Sami Sohail takes a shot. The stumps doesn't come off, but I think Karabo was going to be gone for all money if he had hit directly. Roger Mukasa trying to be fancy around the crease, but I think he has enough power to, keep his shape, stand tall, and hit through the line.
Touch and go moment. And there's still one under the noses of the fielders in the 30. They're working in partnerships. Karabo Motlanka, a commanding voice in the comms box yesterday, talking about how he's played with Roger Mukasa before in the Singapore Elite League 2019. 3 Ugandan players in that one: Roger Mukasa, Kenneth Waiswa, and Charles Waiswa. Charles Waiswa not in any of the franchise teams here, but he's doing some good work in Jinja. Cut very hard. Sebanya asking Roger Mukasa to show him of how much power he's got on a Saturday morning that looks very calm and collected. Little breeze cutting across the oval here in Lugogo. It is the end of the over. 31 for 1 after 6. The power play is done and dusted.
Yeah, good power play for the Sipi Trekkers. I think they've kept all the batters very quiet, apart from my little cameo there from Falak Shah. Motlanka, Karabo, and Roger Mukasa yet to find the going very easy for them. Kenneth Waiswa, the captain, comes into the attack for the Sipi Trekkers.
Won't be the first time that Kenneth Waiswa was bowling to Karabo. Similar battles for the two in the Elite League, in the national colors. And now they have to exchange pleasantries, one with the ball, the leather, another with the bat. the Willow. It's a no love lost affair between the two. Zebra's captain on strike, Karabo Motlanka. What a delivery from Kenneth Waiswa. The tactics from the Trekkers here. Frank Nsubuga not bowling up front. He's been going for quite too many. A man with the best economy in world cricket.
I think there's always very little respect for him, especially locally for Frank Nsubuga these days. Deft touch again from Karabo. Just keep it to a single. Robert Ajuna coming on to field for Brian Asawa, who went off temporarily. Roger gives himself some room. The run scoring not very easy. Roger 11 of 20. Karabo 4 of 10. Sipi Trekkers, their captain Kenneth Weiss are winning the toss and electing to bowl first. And he mentioned that they are looking at utilizing the wicket up front, try and get something out of it. So I think that's why they've persisted with the pace bowlers for now, without bringing the spinners into the attack yet. We saw that happening on the first day of the tournament, where the Tanda Kayakers really put the Sipi Trekkers on the back foot with some very good pace bowling up front, hitting that hard length and extracting some bounce out of the wicket. So getting the runs is not going to be very easy for any team. Everyone will have to work very hard for their runs. Roger Mukasa perishes, trying to go over the keeper.
Early wickets for the Trekkers. Bujagali's openers back in the house. Gloves on, and their gifted hands with him. Roger Mukasa goes. Kenneth White was over, goes for just 4 runs. 1 for 4 in 1. Done and dusted with 7. 35 for 2. They are moving at 5 per over, taking their time. Karao Motlanka eating up balls too. Robinson Obuya yet to get off the mark because he's the new man in town. There's work to be done. The tactics here being employed. spot on. From some pace to more pace. Sami Sohail. Jonathan Sebanja and Kenneth West are having a little chat. Looked like the ball was going to be given to Sami, but Sebanja will wrap up his four. Chance for a catch. The decision to stay with Jonathan Sebanja pays the dividends. Hit straight to the throat of that young man, Fahad Mutagana, who won them a game yesterday, taking on Riyazat Alisha, hitting him for 6 this time round. Those beautiful hands holding on to one glorious chance. Take a walk, Karabo. You've been taken out of your misery.
Yeah, Karabo not checking the field there, hitting the ball straight to Fahad Mutagana. Not the best of deliveries from Jonathan Sebanja. Was there for the hitting on the hip, but just didn't find the gap. The ball going straight to Fahad Mutagana, who takes a simple catch. I think he had no option apart from taking the catch. Otherwise, the ball would have taken out his chest. Cyrus Kakuru will be the new batter for hat-trick ball for Jonathan Sebanja. Comes up with a gem of a delivery to remove Cyrus Kakuru for nothing. First up, second catch there for Simon Cesars. Not a regular keeper. For 4 already. And most of their batting has already gone back into the hat.
Cyrus Kakuru did play very well yesterday as the Rafters beat the Kayakers. Murky waters won't do much to define the situation the Rafters find themselves in. Their coach, Jackson Ogwang, will want them to go and bat very deep. Chance for Brian Mark Masaba, the captain of this Rafters side, to get an innings of sorts going. Jonathan Sebanja went for many yesterday. At the very end, Bilal Hassan taking a liking to his bowling and muscling him out of the park for 3 successive sixes. Those sixes won't matter because the Trekkers came back and bounced well in stellar fashion to win that one. Thanks from the contributions from everyone on the team, especially Mutagana at the very end there, and Frank Nsubuga playing a little beautiful cameo as a coach player. Hat-trick ball for Jonathan Sebanja. Brian Masaba very wise to let that one go, carrying across him. Sebanja bowling left arm over.
Yeah, poor delivery there from Sebanja. If he was looking for the hat wicket, should have bowled it a little bit closer to him. We're here to see a hat-trick in this tournament, but a couple of players have come close. Jonathan Sebanja, the latest 3 for 12 for him. He's into his final over. yesterday ball at the back end of the innings. But clearly the plan is to stay hungry up front. Ooh. A lot of doubt in the minds of the batters now from Jonathan Sebanja. I'm sure his captain must be wishing he had one more over. But the Sipi Trekkers enjoying themselves. They might be out of it right now, but they want to go down with someone.
You talk about being out of it, Dennis. I believe miracles do happen. We saw them happen for Kenya. 2007 in Nairobi at the Gymkhana. Kenya overturning Uganda's net run rate. In a way, no other team could have done it. 36-4. Whatever Rafters get here, if the Trekkers can come and chase it down in quick fashion, they have explosive batters at the top. Asaba, Sesazi, and Mr. Orokide Tuisenge.
Yeah, if you're watching this live stream either on Batball.tv or Uganda Cricket Association YouTube channel, I want to give you something. Looks like an interesting clash. Who do you think will be the player of the match at the end of the day? You win yourself 2 tickets to go and watch movies at Century Cinema, who are our fan engagement partners for this particular event. Wakanda Forever is showing, Game of Thrones is showing. Whatever you want to go and watch, you can be able to catch it at any of their cinemas around Kampala, at Arena Mall, Nadia, and at Acacia Mall. But for now, the Sipi Trekkers are doing just enough to make sure that they delay the confirmation of who will be in tomorrow's afternoon final. The Bujagali Rafters 36-4 after 8 overs. And with most of their batting already back into the hat. Brian Masaba and Robinson Obuya now with the responsibility of repairing the run scoring.
3 balls first for Brian Masaba, who stays on strike. Has got the 1 run. Kenneth Weiss picked up a wicket in the previous over. He comes through with his second. Look at your screen there. And in the frame there, you will see another wicket that was cut and was prepared at the end of yesterday's games and earlier this morning. Dennis, someone whispering to me that could be the wicket for the final. How tough is it going to be to play on a fresh wicket that hasn't been tried and tested in a final?
It's going to be very, very tough for the teams, but I think the plan is to just make sure that the teams have an opportunity of playing on a wicket that will be harder, so ball comes to bat better. Safety first, but there's a big ambulance going just past the screen. I think it will delay proceedings here.
Healthcare Limited there, Dennis. They come for the second. Good backup there from big boy Kevin. Iraq was it. You ask for predictions on who will win. The people come out here to predict the scores instead. The Indian fraternity going for 120. Robel saying 140 plus. 130 for Islam. Sunil says 145 plus. And someone nicknamed Game of Thrones says 135 won't happen beyond that. Riyadh came out say low scoring tournament. Won't be. Was it a low scoring one? Bujagali Rafters got this. I'm just trying to give the trekkers some hope, and we all know it is the hope that kills, says Andreas Lutalo, a man who went to school with the man batting in Indeje. And Chigos Leon, who we know very well, says the man of the match will be Jonathan Sebanja. I think you need to keep a ticket for Leon if he pulls off an answer to something you did ask. Not many people predict man of matches.
I think predicting the winner will be the easy one, so I was trying to make it a lot more difficult. Looking at the points table right now, Sipi Trekkers have minus 2.8. Bujagali Rafters on top of the table, positive 1.6, and Itana Kayakas 1.5. So it's going to be very, very tricky for the Sipi Trekkers to try and overturn that bad net run rate unless they pick up a very big win. Sipi Trekkers, the winners of the women's edition of the Waterfalls T20. The men, I think, virtually knocked themselves out on the first day, losing by big margins to both Bujagali Rafters and Itana Kayakas. Marginal losses could have kept them in the contest with the way they are playing right now. Frank Nsubu Gamlondo comes into the attack from the Ginger Road end.
Coming into the attack for the first time in the match in the 10th. He wants to pile on the pressure. Obuya happy to play with the bowler only. Nice and beautiful from Brian Mark Masaba. The switch shot gets him a boundary. No fault with the ball whatsoever, but the improvisation from Brian is a world class.
Yeah. Masaba also due a captain's knock. Hasn't been easy going for the captains in the tournament. Riazat Ali Shah, the captain of the Itana Kayak, has yet to score any big runs we expect of him. Kenneth Weiss as well has been struggling with the bat. He's done well with the ball, but not with the bat. So the captain there, Brian Masaba, this time promoting himself up the order, trying to make sure that he puts in a very good shift for his team. Halfway stage, end of the 10th, 46 for 4. The Bujagali Rafters. Yash Joshi now into the attack from the KFC road end.
Bowler in Uganda's league, Yash. Touch and go. Going round it. Kenneth Waiso managing to stop it after he chips in a dive.
Another deft touch here from Brian Masaba trying to run the ball down to third man. Very, very tight here from the Sipi Trackers today. They are not giving away anything. Trying to make some room there, Robinson Obuya, but the ball comes back into him. The Sipi Trackers today mean business. Feel it's a little bit too late. End of the 11th over, 50 for 4. If they keep going like this, Innocent Bujagali will see themselves scoring just below 100 runs. But I think their runs as well, they've gotten a lot of runs from the tail. Juma Miyagi is yet to come in and bat. He scored a lot of runs for them, got them to 175 in the win against the Sipi Trackers. So at least for them, they still have a lot of runs, especially coming from their tail. Frank Nsubuga Malondo will continue from the Ginger Road end. Something on that from the reaction of the wicketkeeper, Simon Sesazi. Might have put down a chance. Hands on the head there from Jonathan Sebanja as well. Robinson Obuya backing away, trying to hit it, run it down to third man. Might have gotten something on it. We forgive Simon Sesaz, not your regular keeper. He's taken 2 catches already today. He's put in a shift. I wouldn't mind dropping a catch and the ball doesn't go through you. At least you saved some runs. Better lines from the Sipi Trackers today. The runs are not coming that easily for the Bujagali Rafters. When you put on the squeeze like this, that's when it becomes very important as a captain when you're making those bowling changes. 1 or 2 bad bowling changes could take the pressure off the other team. So finding that balance is very, very critical.
End of the over from Frank. He goes through his overs like an electric train. No time. Frank Sobuga. Some weird reputations there for him. Man who was bowled and over under 2 minutes. At the international stage. 54 for 4. After 12 overs. Obuya on 8 from 14. Masaba with a better strike rate. He is on 10 from 11. They're moving at 4.6 per over. But a spinner after spinner. Yash Joshi back in the attack. Masaba giving himself a chance to have a look around. That on the glove of Masaba. He's not happy with himself. It will hurt. The medics have got to come on quickly. It's a bounce and turn from Yash Joshi.
Death 3 wicket, innocent, not very easy to bat on. So I'm thinking Bujagali must also be thinking that if they get at least 100 runs, they have a good enough score for them to try and defend it. I think nothing that Deep Freeze can't do. Brian Masaba, they are getting some consolation even from the opposition.
And as Brian Masaba gets his treatment, the men in red and black, Sipi Trekkers, get a necessary water break. It's a hot day today. Cooling break. A timely intervention.
Yeah, you can keep saying your predictions who you think the man of match will be. We've had a couple of winners so far. Jeff Kasozi, one of the winners. This is the third day of the Waterfalls T20 League men's edition. The final will be tomorrow afternoon here at the Lugogo Cricket Oval. And from the look of the table, it looks like the Sipi, the Bujagali Rafters and the Itana Kayakers will contest that final. Sipi Trekkers are really very far behind, especially on net run rate. They need a very big result for them to try and overcome that -2. The team closest to them, the Itana Kayakers, have 0.5, have a net run rate of 1.5, so they will need to do something spectacular. To overcome that in run rates. Need to pray that maybe the Bujagali Rafters defeat the Itana Kayakers in the afternoon heavily after picking up this win. Bye is indicated there from Patrick Makumbi. Looked like it was very far down the leg side for me, but I think Brian must have shuffled way across his stumps.
Yash yet to make an inroad here. No run whatsoever. Buya and Masaba must find a method on how they will be scoring runs today. Simon Cesar's chips in a dive, unable to hold on. That was going to be a super take from Simon. Going for the same shot this time with more power. No connection whatsoever. As he spills it, got a glove to it, but he spills away. Chance for a catch. Is that a catch that will be taken? No, it's not. It is 6 runs. The first maximum of the day of the big blade over. Hit over the top, over the bowler. Back-to-back boundaries. Obia says, I won't hang around for too much long. If I He's gone for 10 from the first 3 deliveries. A 6-4 dot situation for him. Frank being wiser. Not pitching up for Robinson Obu again. That was the cardinal scene with the first 2 deliveries. Chance for a run out. Who wants it? Ball a little too high. Pick up from Sami a little too slow. Brian Masaba will survive. Quick single taken. Things have been slow here for the Rafters. Not able to wade through easily. The Sipi. Quick running between the wickets to end the over. Very beautiful over for the Bujagali Rafters, who get some good runs in this one. $13 runs to be exact. And we are done and dusted with over number 14. 69 for 4. And take us through to the back end of the innings as Yash Joshi comes through for his final over. I hope he's joined by Bob Bashir Songa. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning there, Innocent.
It's 10 a.m., 10:35 a.m. in Kampala. What's the time in Kigali?
Just 1 hour less. We're just 1 hour behind. It is 9:30 back at home.
Hopefully the Rwandans are up and about and are following this team, because this team has 2 Rwandan internationals. Kevin Irakoze and Orokide Tuisenge, both big players. Irakoze yet to come into the attack today.
Talking about Irakoze, we saw him yesterday bowling a very handy giving away only 13 runs. Bowling at the death as a spinner, not easy. But he did well to get his team over the line. Much needed win for them yesterday. As we see, they are tightening the inning so far for the Bujagali Rafters, not giving them anything free. Very good comeback here, I must say, for the Sipi Trekkers. As we had earlier at the toss, the captain himself, looks like this was a good toss to win. Goes for the switch hit, but straight to the fielder at short third man, the captain himself, Kenneth Waiswa.
Very good over there ball by Yash Joshi comes to an end. 72 is the score. 72 in 15. Big boy Kevin Irakoze. Quite a frame, a huge unit. He's got lots of talent. Smaller boy as he grew up, but well, things change. Kevin Irakoze has changed into a bigger leggy, one who everybody thinks has batting pretensions. Must have some sixes already in this tournament. It's not a batting time for him though. He's got to do work with the ball with just 5 overs left.
Five overs to go in the first innings, 71 for 4. Can the Bujagali Rafters get 10 runs and over to get them to a score they can feel they can defend? Starts with a short ball. Top edge there. Races away. There's a field that chases on. Good stop there from Asaba. He can only get 2 runs. Not a good start from Kevin Irakoze. Gets lucky with that short ball there. Much better delivery. Falls short to short third man. Much better delivery from Kevin Irakoze. Balls it slightly fuller, giving the ball air to turn. Another full toss there, driven powerfully to the covers. Good piece of fielding there from Sami Sohail. You can see the Sipi Trekkers are not giving any free runs to the Bujagali Rafters. They know this is a match win for them to stay alive in the competition here.
Simon Sesazi in the middle of the overs, tilting a quick word with the bowler Irakoze. They're talking tactics. They need this victory. Hitting the zone that is screamed all the way over the covers for 6. Photo finish shot from Robinson Obuya.
What a shot that was from Robinson Obuya. That is a shot of the day so far.
It was even bigger this time round. Going downtown shopping. Back-to-back 6s. Big over as the search party goes looking for that one in Ginger Road. 30 of the day.
Expensive over from Kevin Irakoze. 15 runs so far, 1 delivery to come. Much needed over for the Bujagali Rafters as they move to 86 for 4. Was it slightly quicker this time round? Third ball to finish his over. 86 for 4. 16 overs down the road. 4 overs to come. They need to get to that 130 mark. As we've seen, the wicket is playing a few magic tricks here. Robinson Obuya, who jumps to 33 in no time with those two back-to-back maximums. Very good player he is. He's been playing a handy knock, a little bit of cameo for his team.
Brian Masawa going way across the stumps, hitting Yash Joshi for 4. They need runs.
Masawa, the captain, from now on moving forward, he knows he has the man on form. Juma Miyaji still back there in the dugout.
Sloppiness in the field. 4 runs. Orokide Tuisenge wishes the ground could swallow him there. Very guilty. Should have been just 1 run given. Big shout there. Masawa, the captain, promoting himself, playing at number 6 for the first time in the tournament, and he's getting the fruits. He's yielding fruit for his side. 25 from 26. Get another little cheeky pedo. Gets him runs. He got back-to-back boundaries up front of the over. A dot ball that had the fielders and the keeper interested, not the bowler. Umpire saying not out. Then he gets a single. What can Obuya do? He hit some big sixes in the previous over. He goes swinging very hard outside off stump. Joshi sees him, and that's it.
Good offer there in the end from Obuya. Trying to play it inside out. Again. Lovely shot again. Good timing there and good connection up and over. 6 more runs.
To really worry about the way Robinson Obuya is batting is something that we expect to see from the likes of Karawa Motlanka, Roger Mukasa, the very top of the innings. It didn't happen, but the 100 comes up. That before 6 in an over that went for 15.
Sami Sohel, the man of the match in yesterday's game, comes into the attack. We saw the captain giving him the ball at this stage of the innings in yesterday's game, picking up 2 crucial wickets. Can he deliver and break this partnership? Calls for a cheeky one, misses it completely. He knows the 2 fielders are at short fine leg and short third man. Trying to use the pace of Sami Sohel, but doesn't connect. It is Brian Masawa, the captain, Gave strike to Robinson Obuya, who's striking the ball perfectly at the moment. In the air, catch is the call. And he misses that one completely and he races away to the boundary. Coach player is not happy with the young man there. Much needed runs for the Bujagali Rafters. Goes across, soft hands there, dabs it to short third man for a single. Good cricket all round from the Bujagali Rafters.
This is the Elite League, and as a youngster you ought to field better. Coach player Frank Subuga down here, right under our noses, fielding at a long off, has words of encouragement for the youngsters. He's mesmerized and shocked in equal measure on how Fahad Mutagana missed that catch. The ball sailing way over him and rolling away for 4. Absurdity in the field for Mutagana. Frank Nsubuga says enough with the spin as he brings back Sami into the attack. They look to control here. They bowled very well for the first 15. They need to control the innings at the very end here. Words of encouragement for Sami. Hit very powerfully. Another comical error in the field, in the deep. The doctor, David Wawire, is the guilty.
Sipi Trekkers fielders. These runs in the end can really hurt. Sami Sohail putting his heart for his team here, but being disappointed by it. Shot up and over. He goes downtown for a big maximum straight to the side screen. Lovely shot there from the captain.
On board, picked up 31 runs in the last 3 overs. The Bujagali Rafters, the fielding show from the Sipi Trekkers, ugly to say the least. Fumbles in the field, dropped chances. They were tightening and strangling the opponent. The lion was about to die. But the kicks of a dying horse can be very painful and they can hurt. And T20 cricket is that sort of a beast that is on its deathbed, because when you snooze for a moment, you find yourself losing the match. There won't be more any spin. Kenneth Waiswa will be back to bowl his third with 2 to go. His third and last in the match, because this is the penultimate over. 117 for 4, still within range. But how Rafters ball at the back end here will be very, very crucial.
Very good over to start with. Straight into the block hole. Tries to play it over the bowler, but it doesn't connect that one. Very good figures from the captain, Kenneth Waiswa, getting a wicket giving away only 8 runs in his 2.1 overs. In the air, who wants it? Fielders charging there. Catch taken by the young man there. Very good catch there in the end.
Rip. At 6 per over, 0.3. He walks off, he knows he's done his bit. 2 beautiful shots from him, those big inside out cover drives for 6. From one danger man to another danger man. Walking into bat at number 7 for the Rafters from Bujagali, who looking to wade through the
A good catch by the young man there. Normally, Juma Miyaji starts off with a single as he goes back into his crease. Straight away off the mark. 2 is the call. They're running very hard. Sebanja is not the quickest in the field. And they get 2 runs comfortably in the end. Talking about that innings of Robinson Obuya. Very, very much needed innings for the Bujagali Rafters. Taking them out of that hole they were put in by the Sipi Trekkers earlier on. Into the block hole. Up. Fielder under 8. What an effort there from the doctor.
$1 bucks. And he gets a rousing applause from the rest of the park. He misfielded one at deep square leg. He makes amends here, saves a certain 6. Runs win matches. That could be the 5 runs that denies them. That could be the deal at the end of the day. But it's 120 up here.
Swing and a miss. Very good thinking there from Simon Sesazi behind the stumps. He knows it is a dot ball, much needed for them. No need of throwing the ball. You can see he's laughing at his captain.
He knows better, Simon. Not your everyday wicket keeper, but he can keep wickets, and he's done it for Uganda as well, especially in the Africa Cup. Comes in because they need more power in the batting lineup. Another very good ball from Kenneth Waiswa, taking pace of it and making it move into the captain. Masaba trying to run even before he played the ball. We done and dusted with the 19th. Kenneth Waiswa's figures very, very good. 2 for 11 in 3. Last over coming up. 120 means they'll need 6 runs every over. But how many can they get in the last over here? It's very important. On how they think things here. Juma Miyagi has got 3 from 2. Brian Mark Masaba, the captain of Uganda, the cricket cranes, and the captain of this Rafters side from Bujagali, on 41 from 34. His best knock thus far. He's been giving responsibility to the young ones, but today he walked in ahead of Juma Miyagi.
Talking about that 41 of 34 from Brian Masawa. I'm not sure. I remember the last time I saw Brian Masawa score 40 runs in a T20 game. Much needed innings for him moving forward.
the doctor to bowl the last over from Ginger Road end. He will want to finish things up here. Edged, who wants it straight to the hands of Sammy Sohail, down at third man. And get an innings of sorts started. He came in a time when it's time for going boom, 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 and gang.
Youngster there telling his bowler and his partner that don't worry, I'm there for you. He's very alert at third man there. Very good bowling there from the doctor himself, David Wawire. Bowling is slightly away from the reach of the batsman. Charge in the air again, hat-trick ball. Catch taken by Sammy Sohail this time round. 2 in 2 for the Sipi Trekkers. They are back into this. Very good piece of bowling there from the doctor Wawire. 2 in 2. And again, first one in this tournament so far. Siraji Subuga walking in out to bat to face the hat-trick ball. Is the captain going to throw a slip fielder in? Is he going to change the field and plan for the hat-trick ball? I saw Alia Sebanja did do much in the field on that hat-trick ball. You can see straight away the captain, Brian Masawa, talking to the new batsman, Siraji Subuga. I believe he told him not to give away or throw away his wicket. But again, the Sipi Trekkers, 6 runs. When you come in to chase, when you need 6 runs and over, and you have the likes of Simon Sesazi, the man on form, the captain himself, Kenneth Waiswa, Sammy Sohail, Orkide, Rwanda International. We saw Asaba Bryan yesterday playing a very handy knock there, making sure the Sipi Trekkers did miss Simon Sesazi's absence. Dances there, and he misses a hat-trick there.
Rajan Subuga walking in after 2 wickets fell. Miyaji first in the over. Then young under-19 boy pass Oloka, hitting it straight to covers, where Sammy Sohail had all the time in the world to complete his catch. And now the third ball, hat-trick not completed, but a very good dot ball. Leg by Zituubi. Siraja will stone his 0. He'll give the strike to the captain. The last 2 balls to be bowled. What a last over it has been.
Very good 2 overs to be precise. We saw Kenneth Weiss, the captain, giving away only 3 runs. And now Wawire, 2 wickets so far in this over and giving away only 1 run. Lovely comeback for the Sipi Trekkers. Much needed. Goes across in the air over the keeper. But the young Joshi is alert again to deny them a second run. Very good comeback here. Remember, they went for 31 off 2 overs. And now what a comeback this has been for the Sipi Trekkers. 122 for 7. Last ball coming in this innings. But we've seen, ladies and gentlemen, chasing has been a problem with these teams here we saw yesterday chasing 133 was very, very hard for the Sipi Trekkers as well as the Bujagali Rafters in the morning. Last ball coming. Third wicket in the over to wrap up things here. Pumped up he is, David Wawire, giving away only 2 runs in the last over. Fantastic bowling, fantastic comeback.
That is done by the Sipi Trekkers, bowled very well, and to imagine that from over number 15 to 18 they went for 31 in 3. It tells you of how well they have bowled at the back end of the innings, going for just a few runs. Wawire finishes with the best scores he's had in a long while in his career. 3 for 19 for the doctor. And as we take a break with the Sipi Trekkers had or done and dusted, the ground staff will come to roll on and prepare the wicket for the second innings. Enjoy the highlights from the first innings as we take a breather here in the cool box. Super Saturday morning. Stay around and share the link with a friend to come catch this beautiful action happening in Kampala.
combination in this tournament. Orkide Tuisenge and Simon Sesazi. Given the new cherry is none other than Juma Miyagi from the shell end. Simon Sesazi to take guard to face the fast delivery of the second innings. Sleep in place. All the way from Botswana, Karabo Mutlaka, the captain of Team Botswana. 2 fielders outside the ring. Deep square leg. And the third man. $122 is the target for the Sipi Trackers if they are here to get their second win in this tournament. They wouldn't wish for a better opening pair than these two out there in the middle. Play it is from the umpire. Straight away off the mark is Sipi Trackers and Simon Sesazi with that little flick on the leg side. Very good approach to start with. We saw teams struggling to chase, trying to go for the big shots, just needing under 7 runs and over. Good to see Simon Sesazi straight away off the mark with that single. That brought Orkide Tuisenge Rwanda International on strike. Played a very good handy knock in their win yesterday, scoring 30 runs. I'm here in the comms box as Bob Bashir Songa alongside Dennis Musari. Welcome back, Dennis Musari. 122 is the target.
Thank you very much, Bob. What a shot there from Orikide. Using the pace of the ball from Juma Miyagi. It's an incident. I don't think the bails have come off, but not sure there from the umpires whether it is Orikide who stepped his wickets or the wind blew off the bails.
Out it is. Orkide steps on his wickets and he's been given out. Juma Miyagi was very convinced.
I would want to watch that replay again. Orikide not the kind to really use his crease that much. He's never deep in the crease. For all we know, he normally likes to shuffle across the stumps. We're still talking about the shot, only to realize that Orikide had stepped his wickets. But what a shot there from Orikide. Nonetheless, was a very good shot. I think Miyagi got away with that. '40th wicket there for the Bujagali Rafters. Orikide going for no loss. 122. Their manager there, Abu Mayanja, very confident that if they can win this game inside 10 overs, they should be able to pull off a miracle and get themselves in the final tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if it will be enough, but it will be looking at Bujagali Rafters doing them a favor against the Itana Kayakers in the afternoon. There's a lot of waiting. Sami Sohel, the man of match in yesterday's afternoon game, will come into bat for the Sipi Trackers, join Simon Sesazi.
Good start for the Bujagali Rafters, getting rid of the inform Orkide Tuisenge straight away. And that brought Sami Sohel all the way from Malawi. Very talented batsman he is. Straight away, Nick and taken. What a dream start from Juma Miyagi and the Bujagali Rafters here. Golden duck straight away for Sammy Sohel. We saw him being dismissed by Inyasi in the first game for a golden duck. He gets the second golden duck in the tournament.
Sammy Sohel, unfortunate there, has to walk. Juma Miyagi back-to-back wickets for him? No, not his wicket. It's a team wicket. But getting the big scalp there of Sammy Sohel for nothing. Sammy Sohel with some pondering to do. Was very good in the field, took some good catches. But unfortunately now it doesn't make any contribution with the bat. Might be the last time we see him in the tournament as well.
Sarah Bryan on strike, coming in to bat at number 4 with only 1 run on board. Hat-trick ball. What a pitch of delivery there from Juma Miyagi. Pumped up he is.
Yeah, Juma Miyagi channeling all his anger from the batting into the bowling now. He's hitting that very good line and length. Those 2 wickets have put Bujagali Rafters in a good place already. You can see because of that previous delivery, they've added another slip. Roger Mkasa will join Cyrus Kakuru and Karabo Motlanka in that ring, in the slip cordon. They're trying to make sure they make early inroads into that batting lineup.
Very good thinking by Brad Masawa to put in an extra fielder in that slip corridor there. That's the end of the second over. 1 run on board. Dream start here for the Bujagali Rafters. Very good over there. 2 wickets, giving away only 1 run. And big wickets indeed. Orkidetu Isenge and Sammy Sohel back into the dugout without damaging the scorers. Sarah Bryan out there with his partner who missed out in yesterday's game, Simon Sesazi. Can these two out there in the middle get them to a good start? Very key to see how Simon Sesazi is going to apply himself. Just lost 2 wickets.
Ivan Baidu will take the ball from the Jinja Road end. The first time he's gotten a chance to play. One of the changes in the team today. Very good bowler there from Jinja, Ivan Baidu. Had a lot of potential as well. I think he would have featured for the national team. But just down the line, a lot of things happened. But it's good to see that he's still available to play. Short ball started from Ivan Baidu. Bowling in the zone there of Simon Sesazi.
As a batsman, if you get such a delivery up front there, every batsman in this world would love and be happy to oblige and go for maximum. No ball is called again. Struggling to get his line. Now he oversteps his Baidu.
Yeah, the Raptors captain Brian Masawa temporarily off. Roger Mukasa ringing the changes with the responsibility in the fields. I think that's why you see him very close to Ivan Baidu. For Ivan Baidu now already 7 runs in 2 balls. And the free hit coming up to Simon Sesazi. Simon swings wildly. Falaksha not very well done there. The ball near running away for 4. But they pick up 2 extra.
The time in the world to hit that out of the park. He gets a healthy edge there. But in the end, it was a free hit, and they get 2 runs of that extra delivery. Soft hands there, straight to covers. Good comeback there from Ivan Baidu. Simon Sesazi, we saw earlier in the comments, everyone rooting for him, that he's the man. Calls for a short ball that kept low. Hits him on the inner thigh pad. But the intention was clear. He was trying to go over the fielder at the boundary deep. Square leg. Everyone in the comments around the world, they are rooting for Simon Sesazi to be the man to take Sipi Trekkers over the line.
Yeah, I think Bujagali Rafters, one of the teams with the most fans. I don't know how much they were disappointed by the women's team, but Sipi Trekkers with a lot of fans who follow them. The final is tomorrow afternoon here at the Lugogo Cricket Oval, starting at 2 p.m. We feel that Bujagali Rafters and Sipi Trekkers will be in that one. Tanda Kayakas and Bujagali Rafters are the teams that look like they will make that final tomorrow afternoon.
Cut powerfully, very good fielding there. He puts in a dive in the end. That's the end of the second over here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. 11 runs on board. Just moving at 5 runs and over. Close to that 6 over the required run rate. Chuma Miyaji giving away only 1 run and 2 wickets, crucial wickets. He's back into the attack. Can he yet deliver again for his team here, leading from the front? Very good athlete he is.
I think the improvements here from Juma Miyagi has been his batting. No doubt he's a fine bowler, but he has also greatly improved his batting. Scored the only 50 so far in this tournament, which shows how much work he's putting in himself. It's Muneo Ismail, the young man on the under-19 team, the replacement fielder for Brian Masaba. But his batting, Juma Miyagi, since the Tri-Nation in Rwanda, has really improved. And that has been a standout for me. I think he will be a proper asset for the Cricket Cranes if you can score some runs at the back end of innings and you get those runs off from your fast bowler, and then you have an asset in a player.
Very true there. Always nice to have an all-rounder in your side, Dennis. We've seen all over the world the likes of the Ben Stokes, Andrew Russell. We've seen those guys play a handy knock. If not, they come, they deliver with the ball. Juma Miyaji, that young man there, he's turning out to be one of the best in the business. Short ball pulled away. One bounce for 4. No time to waste is Simon Sesazi.
The amount of time it took from the bat to the boundary must have been only seconds, because that was pulled very, very hard there from Simon Sesazi. Never ball short to Simon, because the pull shot is his go-to shot.
That was hit. Much better delivery there from Miyaji. Not sure what happened there. He looks to be in pain, a lot of pain there, Juma Miyaji.
Yeah, it doesn't look very, very good. Juma Miyaji going down there in a lot of pain in his run-up. Hope he didn't twist his ankle or something.
Some serious pain, but he knows he has a lot to do for his team to be in a comfort zone. They haven't lost a game. It is their doubleheader today. See the Karabo there in sleeps, telling him the job is not yet done. Short ball again, missed that one. Simon Sesazi was very lazy in that shot.
I don't know how much that has taken out of Juma Miyagi, because they bowled a very good first over. But even Bujagali, I think, have missed it up well. Their slow bowlers have been doing very well. Henry Senyondo, Falak Shah have all bowled tidy spells. We also saw Roger Mukasa bowling a little bit yesterday. Man of match, Sirajin Sobuga, 4 for 20 yesterday. Good comeback there from Juma Miyagi. Despite the limping, he has made sure he keeps Simon Sesazi quiet for now. One more delivery in this over.
Very good comeback there from Juma Miyagi. Simon Sesazi taking his time. 16 runs on board, 2 wickets down. We'll have to wait to see the table standings. Short ball again, missed it out this time round. Straight away, the umpire calls for the physio for the concussion test.
Yeah, this time Simon beaten by pace, but he was still looking to go for that pull shot. Yeah, I think the physio has come on, but not sure what they exactly are supposed to be doing. You need to know, you need to come on, check on the player, make a concussion test. There are some simple tests that they give the players. Usually it's just looks like a formality, but you could pick up something that might have been missed. Safety first always, just to make sure that the players are okay. After 3 overs, 16 for 2, the Sipi Trekkers.
Ivan Baidu continues to ball his second over from the Ginger Road end. Brian Asawa on strike. He's yet to open his account. Roger Mukasa taking time, setting the right field. He sticks with the slip fielder. Charges down straight away. Beats the fielder at point. That is racing away for a boundary. Off the mark straight away. Brian Asawa with that boundary.
Yeah, hit me ball there from Ivan Baidu. Juicy have volley outside of stump. Given the treatment for the right path to pick up their first win of the tournament. Unfortunately for them, their net run rate has been very, very poor. That Bob, for them to just even try and overturn it, they needed to chase this 123 in 2 balls.
When I heard about chasing 122 in 2 balls for the first time, but that's the beauty, you know, in these games. You don't want to lose with big margins. We saw in their first game lost by 10 wickets. Second game lost by 60 runs. That really hurt the Sipi Trekkers down the road. And it's going to hurt them. As by the look of the standings, they don't stand a chance of playing finals. Into the block hole. Looks like it was moving down the leg. Good shout in the end from Baidu.
I think the plan is very simple for Baidu. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't bowl either short or length balls to Simon Cesars, because he can easily pick those up. So he's trying to make sure he bowls as full as possible. But on the first day of the tournament, we saw Simon Cesars hit Juma Miyagi straight over his head into Ginger Road. So he's very, very strong all around the ground.
Struggling again is Baidu. Balls down the leg. Wide signaled by Olivier Itangishaka all the way from Rwanda. Very good balanced team they are, the Bujagali Rafters. Wait is the call. Straight to Roger Mukasa, Papa.
Simon unhappy there, couldn't find the gap. Have volley in the slot. good players always find gaps. So a good shot to a fielder most times is a waste. The required rate slowly but surely climbing, now close to 6.5 runs every over. Goes big, Simon Sesazi. Half a dozen for him. Shot more out of frustration for me. Yes, he had eaten up a couple of balls, and this time he made up his mind that if he gets any closer, swing. I think Simon Sesazi is going to be key in that chase. He has to bat for a very long time.
Baidu, on the other hand, is been very expensive. 1.5 and is giving away 22 runs so far. Yes, is the call. Quick running there. And he gets there comfortably. 23 runs off the 2 overs from Baidu. That brought us to the end of the 4th over. 29 for 2. Dennis there, the score is 29 for 2, but Baidu there himself has given 23 runs in his 2 overs. Very expensive for him.
Yeah, the first time he's gotten a chance to play, and I don't know if the captain will be thinking about him for the other games. He's given away 23 runs in his 2 overs. I think he struggled against Simon Sesazi. He's bowled most of the deliveries to Simon. If he was bowling to a righty like Bran Asaba, maybe he would have had a better chance. Falaksha now comes into the attack to replace Juma Miyagi.
Falaksha, we saw him bowling some tight lines up front. Zap again is Simon Sesazi, who's already on 19. I beg your pardon, 21 of 18 deliveries. Is he going to take on the Ligi there, Falaksha? Straight down the ground. 6 it is. Maximum number 3 for Simon Sesazi, who is dealing in maximums only. Very good use of the feet. He welcomes Falaksha with the maximum over Roger Mukasa's head there at mid-off.
Yeah, welcomes him to the attack with a 6. In the slot again, this time different approach from Simon, goes along all the way along the ground for a boundary. 10 runs from 2 balls so far from this over from Falaksha.
Lovely shot there. Fielders in the ring there at the offside. Nobody moved an inch. That was hit, sweetly caressed in the gap. And a dot ball to Falaksha. He gets a breather there. But again, I believe Simon Sesazi just left that one alone. Calls for a slog sweep there. Connects. Another boundary. 2 boundaries so far and the maximum. Very expensive over to start with is Falaksha. Simon Sesazi on the other hand is on 35 in no time.
Bobby, remember very well the Sipi Trekkers had only 1 run in the first over, but they've quickly switched gears, especially that man Simon Sesazi. His bowling changes can hurt you if not properly thought through. More runs. The runs continue to come. Roger Mukasa there. I don't know why he didn't put in a better effort in trying to cut off the ball. Maybe he thought Pius Oloka would run across and stop the ball. But that was a shot just for a single, I think, from Simon. He didn't hit hard. But in the end, he gets 4 runs. He's already 39 of 23 balls.
What a shot that was. Straight drive there. No chance for the two fielders. Falaksha has swallowed 18 so far. Straight again down the ground. But this time round, the fielder saves his team. 3 runs in the end. What an over that was. 19 off the first over of Falaksha. That's the end of the 5th over. 48 for 2 Dennis here.
Yeah, the only problem. Simon.
Not the first time we've seen these two out there in the middle. Henry Senior the bowling to his younger brother Simon Sesazi. The first game I saw Simon Sesazi not taking charge on his big brother, just milking the ball, giving strike to his partner. Same thing, dabs it straight to mid wicket for a single. I'm not sure if it's the respect he has for his big brother. That looked like it was balled in the pads. Would have smashed that one. We're still in the power play. Only 2 fielders outside the ring. Puts in a sleeping place straight away for the young Brian Asaba. What a delivery there.
Yeah, Henry Senyondo likes bowling to right-handers because he's taking the ball away from them, and you can see the Bujagali Rafters have added a slip in there. Karabo Mutlanka moving into the slip cordon. Comes off the edge and they take a single. 49 for 2 already. 50 now comes up for the Sipi Trackers. They've dropped 2 wickets, but of those 50 runs, 41 have been scored by Simon Sesazi alone. Backs away, but straight to Robinson Obuya at cover. I want to see Simon hit his brother for a 6. He dishes out that punishment to others, but I haven't seen him take on his brother. Calvin Watua with the clean up. They will just pick up a single. A good over so far from Henry Senyondo. Only 2 runs from 4 balls. What does Brian Asaba do right now, Bob?
Just rotate the strike. Don't go for big shots here. You're playing against the best in the business here. Henry Senyondo, left arm orthodox. You don't want to take him on. Lovely over there to end the power play. 51 runs on board for 2. The required run rate has gone down to 5 runs and over. But by the looks of the way Simon is batting, who is already on 41 of 26 deliveries, he can't easily chase this under 12 overs if he stays in until the end. As you see the introduction of Sirajin Subuga, the man of the match in yesterday's game, picking up 4 wickets for 20. He got him in their first game. Can he get him too in this game? So that celebration when he got the wicket of Simon in their first game. It really meant a lot to Siraji Subuga. They've played together for quite some time now. But Simon Sesazi is on the national team, but Siraji Subuga is yet to make his debut. So far, he is the leading wicket taker with 7 wickets in the tournament. Can he keep up the good form he is with the ball?
So Siraj has enjoyed bowling from that KFC road end. Yesterday he came back very well in his second spell to pick up a couple of wickets that earned him that Player of the Match award. Now we'll be bowling to a lefty, Simon Sesaz, which I think is also a good matchup. He has all his boundary riders loaded. So if Simon is trying to go big, he needs to make sure that he's hitting it out of Lugogo. Starts off with a short ball. Yesterday at the post-match presentation, Siraj realizing that he's still behind in the pecking order of Frank Nsubuga and Joseph Baguma, only because they bat better than him. So if he works on his batting, he should give the selectors a couple of sleepless nights. But for now, he recognizes that he knows what he needs to do if he's going to get himself an opportunity of playing for Uganda.
These two there, talking about Siraj Nsubuga and Simon Sesazi and Brian Asawa. They play a lot of cricket in Rwanda. They have scored many runs. They have picked up wickets in the domestic leagues in Rwanda. They know each other well. But we are in the elite men's category here. We all mean business.
Couple of people predicted who will be the player of the match, not just the winner of the game. Kevin Awino, Sipi Trekkers will win, but he thinks Simon Sesaz will be the player of the match. I think we need to cut off the predictions right now because it's getting very easy.
Oh, he goes for the big sweep there, misses it. Talking about that prediction from Kevin Awino, had a chat with her. First game, Simon didn't click in that game, but Kevin Awino knew. She told me, I remember well, she told me if he doesn't click in the first game, just be ready for him in the next game.
Yeah, it was very, very hard that he had to miss a game yesterday, Simon, because he was writing an exam. He has always told me, even before the men's event started, that he was very interested in picking up one of those nice Player of the Match awards that are being given out. Have one of those in his own house. End of the 7th over, 55 for 2, the Sipi Trekkers.
Very good over there from Siraj Nsubuga, not giving away many runs in that over.
Sipi Trekkers need 68 runs from 78 balls.
Can this be the time we are looking for, Dennis Musari here? It is Nyondo versus his younger brother Simon Sesazi, who is on 44. Can he get to the second half century in style here with the maximum? Dabs it. to short fine leg for a single. Sensible batting there. He moves to 45. Are we in to see the second half century of the tournament so far?
Yeah, the milestones have not been so many. You haven't had a fiver. We've had only one half century. The girls quite had a number of half centuries in their tournament. Bujagali Rafters will be coming back in the afternoon, take on the Itanda Kayakers. Itanda yesterday falling on a double-edged sword, losing to Bujagali and Sipi Trekkers. Brian Asaba, ball right under his nose, but playing with a dead bat.
Much better, good looking shot. Instead of playing a dead bat, try and rotate the strike. Talking about the milestone, we saw Roger Mukasa yesterday missing out with only 1 run shy to his half century, hauling out the only fielder at point who took a very sharp catch, Pascal Mulunji. It's another single off his bigger brother there.
Still not showing that positive intent that he does against other bowlers.
I say this once and I'm saying it again here, Dennis. I remember I told Innocent in their first game, I believe it's the respect here they have for each other. Because all those deliveries, we've seen him hit them very hard. But this time round, he's just stabbing them for just a single. That's the end of the 8th over. 58 for 2. Simon Sesazi, who's on 46 on strike. Sirajin Subuga to continue from the shell end. Can this be the over where he gets to his milestone? But Sirajin Subuga on the other end, he is in for a challenge here. Picked up his wicket in the first game. Can he deliver for the Bujagali Rafters again? Lovely dab there. Chase is on by the bigger brother there. Slips. Keeper is the call, but they get 2 runs in the end.
Retrieve the ball. This time puts in a dive and he works well. Henry Senyondo, good stuff from him.
Good to see here young Sirajin Subuga bowling some tight lines. Big swing there, gets an inside edge. And he gets a single. Very tidy over there from Sirajin Subuga.
That single should bring up the 50 for Simon Sesazi. The second 50 in this Waterfalls T20 Tournament Men's Edition. Muted celebrations for him. He knows the job is not yet done. 63 runs only for the Sipi Trekkers, who are trying to chase down 123.
Much needed half century. And all over the world, people were watching, people who rooted for Simon Sesazi to be the player of the match. You might have predicted well, especially Kevin Awino, wherever you are watching. Must be proud of yourself watching Simon get to his milestone there. That brought us to the end of the 9th over, 64 for 2. 64, talking about the total, 64. Simon Sesazi has 95% of the runs. That shows you how good this batsman Simon Sesazi is and the form he's been in for the past 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's been very, very consistent, especially most people say here that COVID did him very well because since then he's never looked back. He's cemented his place in the Cricket Cranes team at the top of that batting order. But he just hasn't remained there because of his name. He scored a lot of runs for the team, notching up 1,000 T20I runs in the Tri-Nation in Rwanda, and also scoring his first T20I century. I think the difference for me between him when he made his debut and now is that he has a lot of hunger to score runs, and he realized the only way he's going to be doing that is if he works very hard on his game. So what you see of Simon now is a man who was putting a lot of work, hitting a lot of balls. There is no shortcut to success. It's only been hard work for him.
Well played there from young Brian Asaba. Everyone here at Lugogo was telling Brian Asaba, get that man on strike. We saw the first over of Alaksha went for 18 runs off the blade of Simon Sesazi. He's now back on strike. Can he continue to haunt Falaksha here? Taking his time to set the right field for the left-hand batsman. Long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. Goes back, plays it on the up. Straight to long off for a single. Very good, sensible batting. It's a healthy edge there. Races away to the boundary. You don't catch those ones. Falaksha, not a good day he's having in the office. Even a very good ball, he's standing out to go for a boundary. On the back foot there, lovely punch, straight to long off for a single. That's the end of the 10th over. We are halfway the mark. Very good comeback here for Falaksha.
Yeah, much better over from him. The first one went for 19. This time he's done a better job. Apart from that healthy outside edge that flew off the bat of Brian Asaba and ran away for 4. The rest were very, very tidy. And at the halfway stage, The CP Trackers have more or less done half the job. 52 runs off the willow of Simon Sesazi. Brian Asaba has been the perfect supporting cast, 16 of 21. They are staying with the rate up-ish from Simon, but won't carry to Juma Miyagi. They pick up a single. Right now, the CP Trackers need at least 49 runs after that single from as many as 58 balls, with 8 wickets in hand.
One wicket here would make things more interestingly here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. We've seen the CP Trackers having a very good start and losing it down in the middle there with a batting lineup. The middle order batsmen haven't yet delivered for the CP Trackers. One of the reasons they don't stand a chance to play the finals tomorrow here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Straight to mid wicket to that man there, Karabo, who is yet to unleash his skills here in this elite. Big shot there. That is not coming back.
I think Brian Asaba got tired of watching the ball. For a position in the team with his batting, and I think for him this should be an experience where he needs to learn, especially work on his fielding to be become an important player as well. This is also an opportunity for players like him, young ones who played part of the under-19 setup, to knock on the door of the head coach Lawrence Mahatlani and let him know that, hey, we are available and we are ready to be deployed. 11 overs gone, 81 for 2.
Talking about Brian Asaba, a lot of talent here in Uganda, especially in this elite. Seen very good youngsters here stepping up, leading from the front. A very good headache to have for the selectors and the coach himself. Falaksha given his third over here from the captain, the standing captain, Roger Mukasa Papa. Stepping in for his former teammate, his captain on the national side, Brian Masaba, who might have injured himself. Flicked away. 2 is the call. They're running very hard. You don't want to take on the arm of that youngster there, Juma Miyagi. Very good to see Brian Asaba. Every time he has used that slog sweep, he has connected sweetly. What a piece of keeping there behind the stumps there. And Falaksha gets a breakthrough here for the Bujagali Rafters.
Cyrus Kakulu doing the rest. The captain for the CP Trackers, Kenneth Waiswa, comes out to bat.
Kenneth Weiss, we're talking about the captain. Weiss there coming into this tournament as a batsman of the Sipi Trekkers. He has turned out to be the bowler of the side, picking up good wickets. He hasn't had enough runs, hasn't scored a double-digit score here so far in this elite. Simon Sesazi, the non-striker, doesn't look to be bothered at all. He knows he can score 10 plus runs and over with the form he's in. And Kenneth Weiss were off the mark straight away. Very good comeback here for the big Falaksha there on your screen. After going for 19 runs in his first over. Up pitch there, but straight to the starting in captain Roger Mukasa for just a single.
Oh, play there by Kenneth Weiss, hitting the sweepers. Good arm throw there from Juma Miyagi. These double headers here have been terrible to the teams. Bob, no one has won a double header, and especially if the first game is too hard, means you burn a lot of calories in a loss. So you're already spent in the afternoon, and the second team that you play are fresh, so you become easy pickings for them. CP Trekkers, I think, were the ones who suffered the most. They went for 175 in their second game and only folded for 115. Match day number 3 of the Waterfalls T20 League Women's Edition. Double-header day, men's edition, double-header day for Bujagali Rafters. They didn't get enough runs. You must feel 123 only. And they might be missing their captain, Brian Masaba, in the afternoon game, who was not on the field because took a blow to the arm. The starting captain, Roger Mukasa, will take the ball from the KFC road end.
A lot of spinners in this Bujagali Rafters side. Karabo Motlaka as well is also a part-time bowler. Not sure why he hasn't been given an over. Very handy. He's a man with a golden arm.
No call between Simon Sisaz and Kenneth Weiss. Both of them just looking at each other, but none with an assured call. It's like two drivers thinking that the other is going to stop, but at least in the end, both of them make the right call by stopping. .38 runs from 47 balls is the requirement for the Sipi Trekkers. Sipi have won one game, same number of wins as Itanda Kayakas. The challenge for them is that they suffered heavy losses on day one. They suffered heavy losses on the first day, 10-wicket loss to the Itanda Kayakas and 60 runs loss to the Bujagali Rafters. That really put them on the back foot. Despite winning yesterday, they could only improve their net run rate from a -5 to a -2.
Big shot coming here. Flex it. Flex it finer and gets a single there. Very good bowling here from Papa. Very good to see Roger Mukasa back in action after a long time. Cheeky. Loud appeal and it's been given again. Wisewa's poor run continues again. Again, he doesn't look to be happy with the umpire's decision. But he can only do one job, which he was there to do, and he never delivered again for his team. He has to walk back to the dugout.
Yeah, Patrick Makumbi took a lot of time before he made that decision. Kenneth Wise are not happy, but he can only... Maybe he must be thinking about the angle. But Roger Mukasa doesn't bowl with a lot of turn. Therefore, Patrick Makumbi feels that that ball would have crashed into the stumps. If everything is red for him, the decision is up to him. Kenneth.
Young brother to the bigger brother, to the older brother. Frank Subuga off the mark with the marksman straight away, telling Roger Mukasa, Ochari Muto, I had it.
He had done this for a very long time, longer than you. So I'm going to hit the rubbish. Bowling in the slot and hits him straight over his head for a 6. Yeah, those stamp mics now picking up some chapping from the players. That chapping between two brothers. But I'm sure there's no love lost. Those two guys like each other a lot, I will tell you. On tour, they are totally inseparable. You always find them together. You find Frank tossing for Roger in the morning before he goes out to bat. And they have a lot of stories to tell between themselves.
Talking about brothers, one over from the shell end, it was Roger bowling to his older brother Frank Subuga, and now from Ginger Road end is Senyondo bowling to Simon Sesazi.
Simon still very guilty there, never shows aggression against his big brother.
Dennis, the way you sound, you're not happy with Simon not hitting Senyondo, but I believe
I want to see him hitting him out of the park the way Frank Subuga has been hitting Roger Mukasa.
And again he goes for a single here. It is the respect they have for each other. It's not the...
I tell you, Simon has only picked singles off his brother's bowling. He hasn't tried to hit any shot out of aggression.
And now you can see he's sending the message to Frank Subuga, telling him, please go for him. Me, it's the other way around. I respect him, but you do not respect him. Hit him outside the park.
Because it will be easier for Simon to take on Henry. But in Uganda, we normally have that saying, especially among the Baganda here in the central. Baba, Bera Baba. So probably Simon Sesaz has a lot of respect for his Baba.
Very true there. I believe Simon there told Frank Subuga, if you hit him, I'm going to hit Roger too. But again, they're up against the challenge of one of the best in the business, Henry Senyondo. What an effort there from the tall man, Chuma Miyaji.
Yeah, very good fielding from the young man. Good to see. I'm thinking that Bujagali Trekkers don't want to finish everything in the tank. They need to keep something for the afternoon game. The Itanda Kayakers might have lost yesterday 2 games, but they've shown signs of being one of the favorites in the tournament.
And again there is no intention again for going hard at Senyondo. I believe it is a bet they made when they are still young at the early age, that will never take my wicket.
It would be more or less your brother's keeper. No intent. That ball was up there in the slot. Any other ball, I'm sure Simon would have tried to take him on. End of the 14th over, 95 for 4. The Sipi Trekkers.
As we see Roger, another brother, coming in to ball to his brother.
Yeah, 28 runs required from 38 balls. You can see some of the comments there on the live stream. Some people not very happy there with Kenneth Waiswa's descent. They said Kenneth Waiswa's descent, clearly a man out of touch with the bat. From Solomon Israel, who's watching all the way from the UK. Solomon, a big follower of the game in Uganda cricket. Played for that Dream Under 19 team. The Dream Under 19 team had the likes of Kenneth Kamyuka, Innocent Daula, Ivan Tawita Moira, Chris Ngola, Jacob Mudu, Raymond Otim, Ben Musenze, Lawrence Sematimba, the captain, Geoffrey Seronkuma, Hamza Saleh, some very, very big names. Richard Okia, a lot was expected of them. Richard Ramafa, a lot. Hilary Kafuka, Adam Jumba, Alan Magambo, the late. A lot was expected from that generation. But the dreams just never came to reality. Yeah, a sibling affair. Roger Mukasa hasn't had a chance to bowl to Franklin Subuga, but if you heard from the spam mics there, Franklin Subuga telling Roger or Charlie Muto and hitting him into the KFC, into Java House. Too many dots so far. No run taken in this over. Just 1 run taken.
Very good over there. 15 overs down the road. 97 for 4. Simon Tesazi scored that 50 off 34 deliveries. And now he's on 59 off 52 deliveries. He has played a lot of dot balls there.
Yeah, half a chance there from Simon Sesazi. Half a chance from Simon. If I count the runs Simon has scored off Henry Senyondo, that's 4 plus 3 singles, 7 runs. Deft touch, delicate touch down the leg. Karabo will definitely just go to pick up that ball. Back-to-back boundaries. Someone must have told Simon Sesaz that Musali has said, you need to try and take on your brother. The 100 is up there for the Sipi Trackers. 100 have lost 4 wickets. They are in pursuit of 123 runs. They need about 22 runs for them to pick up their second win in this tournament, but might not be enough.
Henry Senyondo, 2 deliveries to go. Up and over. He goes downtown for a big 6. Welcome back, Innocent, in the cause box.
Thank you, Bob. I'm happy to take it through to the end. I feel re-energized that the CP Trackers are giving the losing side. There's no two ways about it. Unless a miracle of marginal proportions does happen, it won't be happening for the Rafters from Bujagali without their leader on the field, Brian Mark Masaba. Roger Mukasa has been running traffic. Sibling affair, you can call it a double sibling affair. 2 brothers in the attack and 2 brothers out there in the middle, and these are blood brothers. Same father, same mother. Henry Senyondo bowling to Frank Nsubuga. At the non-strikers end, right next to Senyondo is Simon Sesazi, who looks on to see if the ball has been changed. No, the other one comes back quickly. The ground staff, the search party, does a good job to bring it back into play. $112 for 4, 2.64 needed per over. They need just 11 runs. Needed from 25 balls. Changing the balls there. like one was overly damaged. The umpires, Olivier Ntangishaka, looking sharp in blue, alongside one of the guys he calls his mentor, calls him Coach Makumbi Masoke there. Olivier, of course, being nicknamed by the rest of the umpires here, Lanton Rusere, because he does adore the Zimbabwean who's become the first black African test umpire. Lanton Rusere, what a reputation he is building for Africa. Not yet even 40 years old, 36, 35 old, and Lanton is moving places. But this is not a place to talk about Lanton. It's a place to talk about the Waterfalls T20 League. 16 overs done and dusted, 113 for 4. 10 more runs required, Bob. The Sipi Trackers have played catch up to bring up 2 wins. But will it be enough? Dennis says no ways. I had him preach to the whole world that the Trackers need to chase down this target in under an over. Impossible, mathematically impossible in the world of fantasy, and impossible in the real world.
Even in the world of video games, that was still impossible. But again, they have had a great time out there in the middle, making sure the Bujagali Rafters feel the heat, who are playing another game this afternoon.
Hit straight to Karabo Motlanka. Motlanka played for the Tuskers in the Zimbabwe Franchise Cricket League, Karabo Motlanka has played in Singapore Elite League. He's traveled the world, lots of experience. He's coming here, found the conditions tough to tackle. A late arrival. Full toss given to Frank. Frank was looking to unleash his long willow and muscle it out of the park. But the full toss quick onto him. He just gets it down the line for 1. Not bad to bat sensibly. That man Simon says he knows how to pace his innings. Never in a hurry. He got to 50 from 30 odd. Moves on to 68 from 56. Looks like when he bats, sometimes it looks like he's unbeatable. And when he bats, looks like he has all the time on the world to play the shots he wants. Calls himself he's the boss, and he's played like the boss today.
He is the boss today. Cut powerfully with purpose. Very good fielding in the end, but it goes in vain. Had a little bit of fingertip there on that. Moves to 72 of 57 deliveries.
One guy here coming through to say, Simon, I love you, bro. I think Simon just won him some money in a betting warehouse somewhere. Raul, please do share the money with some of us. We as broke as church mouses. Poor, and Simon capitalizes, make that 2 back-to-back boundaries for Simon Sesazi. And cuts with precision. 122 now. Just the 1 run needed for victory. They get it. If they get it now, the run rate will improve, but only just and just, because they will be hoping that the Bujagali Rafters can overwhelm, annihilate, embarrass the Itanda Kayakers in the afternoon with a big win that can help them sneak through. Down the leg wide. That is it, Bob.
Very comfortable win here. Very comfortable chase. First in the tournament. Comes from the Sipi Trackers. but it goes in vain as they're not going to play the finals. They've played a very good chess here. Very well played there. That man there on your screen, Simon Sesazi, unbeaten on 76 of 58 deliveries. With his coach player there, Frank Suga, playing a handy knock there in the end, 16 of 9 deliveries. He was one man's show in the chess, Simon Sesazi. And the Bujagali Rafters are in for another encounter this afternoon here. They're playing Itanda Kayekas at 2 p.m. here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Do not go anywhere. We're in for another interesting and good game here this afternoon. That was it for me here.
As you look at it, as they walk off, Bob done a good job there with the conclusion, but Frank and Simon, coach player and one of his best batsmen, doing the job in a team that had the most overseas players. Big victory for them. They get 2 at the back end of the tournament. Kenneth West, the captain, happy. As we take a break, we'll be coming through with the highlights as we wait for Dennis Athamusali to come down with the presentation in a jiffy.
National Badminton League, and Super is just a category. Please correct it. Yes, correct it. It's the return of
Speak to Brian Masawa, the captain of Bujagali first. Tough luck, Brian. What didn't go well for you guys today?
It was a bad toss to lose. I mean, the conditions were really tough in the morning. Wicket was a bit tucky, so run scoring was not easy. I thought we did really well to pull ourselves out of a very tough position and get to 120 odd, but in the end, just wasn't enough.
All right, we understand you have some injury, so you couldn't take the field in the afternoon. Will you be available for the afternoon match?
Still need to do an assessment with the medical team, but it's looking a bit tough. Finding a bit of difficulty gripping the bat, so maybe we'll give a few of the guys a chance to play.
All right. What are your plans in the afternoon? You have another game. The double headers haven't been good for any of the teams. Do you think? But you might have just done enough to get yourselves in the final tomorrow afternoon. What will be the plan and how do you approach the game?
We need to just go out there and play cricket. I mean, again, we don't want to factor in too many things, too many thoughts. We just need to go out there, improve on our morning game. Conditions are a bit better now, so we need to bat better. I think we have a decent bowling side, so if we can get some runs on the board, then we should be able to go for the win.
All right. Good luck to you, Brian, in the afternoon. We'll speak to the winning captain, Kenneth Waiswa of the Sipi Trekkers. More smiles for you, Kenneth. Your team gets your second win for the tournament. What do you make of the game today?
I think it was a good toss to win today, this morning, and the bowlers bowled very well. It was moving around and getting more bounce, so we bowled very well as pace bowlers to put them under pressure as possible.
Your two wins might have come a little bit too late because you had a very big net run rate to overcome, but on the overall over the course of the 4 games, what have you made of? If you had started much better, do you think you would have had an opportunity of being in the final tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, and I think so. We still have a chance to be in the finals, so we are staying calm and rooting for Bujagali to win this final so that we play in the finals.
All right, good luck to you, Kenneth, and I wish you well. I hope on the sidelines you talk to your gods to make sure they help Bujagali beat Itanaka Yakanas and you make the final. And for our player of the match, to present the award will be the General Secretary of Uganda Sports Press Association, Mr. Clive Cheze. But the player of the match is a gentleman who scored 76 runs, not out, took 3 catches while keeping wickets, Mr. Simon Sesazi. The player of the match award comes also with some cash money. Simon will get 100K for his efforts today. Yeah. Thank you, Clive. Well played, Simon. Very good knock for you. Yeah, you lost early wickets, and then from there on, you took the responsibility of getting your team over the line. You missed the game yesterday. You must have, unfortunately, because that had an exam. The knock coming in a game which you win, but might be a little bit too late. But talk to us about your innings today.
Yeah, we had to win this. That is the truth. We needed this win, despite the circumstance. You never know what happens in the afternoon. So, but at least if you have a win in the bag, you know there's a lot that can happen. You never know, we might play the finals tomorrow. So I really had to do it, and I was the only one that had to take my team.
All right, in the comms box we were talking about it. You don't show a lot of aggression against your big brother. Is that respect for him?
No, it's not respect. It's just knowing my game, you know, and knowing my zones, because he's a very clever bowler, and he knows I'm also a clever batsman. So we all, you know, have that challenge. I know he can't give me in my zone, and I know I also can't, you know, play recklessly against him because he's one of their strike bowlers. So when you look at my team, if at all I was out a bit early, you know, you never know what would happen. You know, so I really had to stick in there and give him his respect because he was bowling good lines, and I really had to, you know, punish the others.
All right, well done, Simon, and well played. Thank you for entertaining us. You can go and enjoy your award over the lunch break. That concludes our play of the match presentation. Don't go away in the afternoon. Bujagali Rafters will be taking on the Itanda Kayakers.